There we go. Good morning and happy Friday to you. It is the 18th of December, and we are getting closer and closer to Christmas. I know my kids are very excited, and today I made myself a little hot chocolate so we can enjoy that. You know, hot chocolate is one of my favorites. I really enjoy it. And you know, at the end of the day, no matter how bad life is going, that's completely distracting me. No matter how bad life is going, we can choose to be happy and find joy in the small things in life. And that's kind of what this channel is about. This is dedicated to you, the viewer, and I'm hoping that anything you get out of this helps you in some way. And so we do have a format here on this interactive podcast. We do an inspirational thought or quote of the day. We jump into our spiritual reading, and then we also review our 4 principles of success, and we do an application of that. And so we're going to jump into that today. Okay. Today, usually we do a quote from Napoleon Hill, but I don't think we're going to do that today. Today, I want to give you a thought. Okay? I'm going to have a little whipped cream. That is good. That is good. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were telling me they themselves are a business owner, and they don't have any benefits. They don't have dental care. They don't have a 401k. They don't have any of that stuff, but they're extremely happy with what they do. And they were telling me about their brother, who just recently retired. Whipped cream is amazing. Their brother worked his whole life for a corporation, had benefits, pension, 401k, and finally retired. This person's brother literally counted down the days to retirement. He hated his job, but it paid well, gave him benefits and a retirement. Here's my question, and here's the thought of the day. There is no right way to live your life, right? There's definitely wrong ways, but there's no right way. Guys, there's wrong ways, but it's not a right way. You can choose paths that get you to the same destination. The question is, what kind of price are you willing to pay? Right? Would you rather be the business owner who may have to work for the rest of their lives, but they enjoy and love it? Or would you rather be the employee who hates their job every day, but you have the benefits and you're able to retire? Who are you? Well, personally, I will tell you, as many of you know on this channel, I own my own business. So I'm the first. I would much rather enjoy coming into work every day and helping people and enjoy what I do. And I have to work for the rest of my life. I'm good with it. Right? Because I enjoy what I do. I feel like I'm retired already. What am I going to do? Sit around the house and do what? Nothing. Oh, don't tell my wife that, though. She'll find stuff for me to do. That's good hot chocolate. Good hot chocolate. All I'm saying is that while her brother did get a retirement package and got his benefits and all those kinds of things, he paid a very heavy price for that emotionally, right? So what's worth it to you? Would you rather be emotionally happy but have less? Or would you rather have the benefits and the materialism and be emotionally miserable? That's the question. That's the thought for today. I hope that you can find what will make you happy and then pursue it. Now keep in mind, we can't have everything both ways, right? You can't have cake and eat it too, right? Because if you eat the cake, you don't have it anymore. It's in your tummy. Just like this whipped cream is going in my tummy again. It's like peppermint whipped cream. It's delicious. Amazing. But the thought goes something like this. If I want to be an artist, then I must accept that in all likelihood, I am not going to be able to produce a tremendous amount of money, because the average freelance artist does not. Now, obviously we have our breakaway successes who are extremely wealthy in their lifetimes, but those are very rare, and you could very much compare them to professional sports players, right? They are within the top 1% only. That's it, of what they do. So not very many people get to do that and have success. So if we choose to be an artist, then we must also accept that our lifestyle may not have the materialism that other people may experience. We may not be able to go on vacation. We may not be able to have a fancy car. We might just barely have a car, right? We're not going to have benefits for medical. We're going to struggle financially. But if being an artist and creating art is and you want to do that as your primary focus every day, if it's that important to you, then we must be willing to give up those other things. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, where are your priorities and who are you? All right. That's my thought for the day for you guys. Hope you enjoy that. We're going to jump into our spiritual reading. We'll then reaffirm our 4 principles of success. And then we will jump into application of our 4 principles of success. Now, as with everything, every time I do my spiritual reading, I do want to point out that I fully recognize that not everybody may believe as I do. And that's okay. If you get something out of this, if you're inspired in some way from the words that I'm reading, then I think we've done something good. And that is what this is about. The record I'm reading, by the way, is actually a record. It is a history. It really happened. And these people are very, very religiously devoted. Okay? Right now we're talking about a man named Nephi, who was given a very difficult task to bring some holy records back to his father as they are fleeing Jerusalem just before Babylon invades. Okay? And as he went to try to get these records, the man who owned them, whose name is Laban, he stumbled across him, and he was drunk and passed out on the street. And he was told that he needed to kill him and then put on his clothes and go to his treasury to get the records. And he came across his servant, who would know Laban very well. And something strange happened. When he spoke, he sounded just like Laban. All right, here we go. And he, this is the servant now, supposed me to be his master Laban, for he beheld the garments and also the sword girded about my loins. And he spake unto me concerning the elders of the Jews, he knowing that his master Laban had been out by night among them. And I spake unto him as if it had been Laban. And I also spake unto him that I should carry the engravings, which were upon the plates of brass, to my elder brethren, who were without the walls. And I also bade him that he should follow me. And he, supposing that I spake of the brethren of the church, and that I was truly that Laban whom I had slain, therefore he did follow me. And he spake unto me many times concerning the elders of the Jews, as I went forth unto my brethren who were without the walls. And it came to pass that when Laman saw me, he was exceedingly frightened, and also Lemuel and Sam, and they fled from before my presence, for they supposed it was Laban, and they had slain me and had sought to take away their lives also. And it came to pass that I called after them, and they did hear me. Wherefore they did cease to flee from my presence. Then it came to pass that when the servant of Laban beheld my brethren, he began to tremble, and was about to flee from before me, and return to the city of Jerusalem. And now I, Nephi, being a man large in stature, and also having received much strength of the Lord, therefore I did seize upon the servant of Laban, and held him, that he should not flee. And it came to pass that I spake with him, that if he would hearken unto my words, as the Lord liveth, and as I live, even so, that if he would hearken unto our words, we would spare his life. And I spake unto him even with an oath, that he need not fear, that he should be a free man like unto us, if he would go down into the wilderness with us. This is a huge differentiator between this time period, which is about 600 BC, and our current day. When people made oaths or made promises in that time, it was as good as a legal contract, right, that we have today. And even legal contracts today, people may or may not abide by them, but there are consequences. There are enforceable consequences if that legal contract is not held up. But back in this day, their word was as good or better than a legal contract in our time. And so it's remarkable that all he needed to do is promise him that he would survive, and the servant knew right away that, okay, yeah, this guy's for real, because he said it. There's no treachery, right? And I also spake unto him, saying, surely the Lord hath commanded us to do this thing, and shall we not be diligent in keeping the commandments of the Lord? Therefore, if thou wilt go down into the wilderness to my father, thou shalt have a place with us. And it came to pass that Zoram did take courage at the words which I spake. Now Zoram was the name of the servant, and he promised that he would go down into the wilderness unto our father. Yea, and he also made an oath unto us, that he would tarry with us from that time forth. Now, we were desirous that he should tarry with us for this cause, that the Jews might not know concerning our flight into the wilderness, lest they should pursue us and destroy us. This is a very important piece. Okay? You might say, well, if we look up Lehi or Nephi or what have you, are there any records? There might be, but there is no record of them leaving Jerusalem, because they didn't want a record to be had. This is particularly the reason that they're asking Zoram to come with them. They're basically ghosting Jerusalem, if you want to think of it that way. That is really nice hot chocolate. And it came to pass that when Zoram had made an oath unto us, our fears did cease concerning him. And it came to pass that we took the plates of brass and the servant of Laban, and departed into the wilderness, and journeyed unto the tent of our father. All right, so let's review a couple of things about this particular story. Okay, number one, keep in mind that this family has fled Jerusalem. They were extremely wealthy. Lehi, who is the father of Nephi, was a very prominent businessman in Jerusalem and well connected. He was also a prophet. and he received a vision in which he was supposed to flee Jerusalem with his family and not basically, and literally leave everything other than food provisions and to go into the wilderness, right? And his family is not sure about this. And that's to say it politely. But they go because he's the patriarch. And as he's in the wilderness, Nephi, who is about to rebel against his dad along with his older brethren, decides to pray about things and gets a confirmation that, no, this is what they're supposed to do. And then from that moment forward, Nephi never wavers in his faith, right? That's what's remarkable. He gets an answer to his prayer, and once that prayer is confirmed, from that point forward, everything else is simply a matter of fact. If I'm told to do this, it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And Lehi has another dream, which he's told to go get the scriptural record and the genealogy of his people from his cousin, Laban. And as you could see, they tried 2 times to get the plates, twice a failure. Once they were robbed by Laban, and it took, unfortunately, the death of Laban for them to obtain the plates. But regardless, deity paved the way for them to accomplish what deity asked them to do, right? Heavenly Father never asks us to do something that we cannot do. He never gives us something that we can't overcome in our life, okay? And that leads me to our next segment, which is I need to read to you a very sad story. As you know, we support Operation Underground Railroad here. The reason is we do not believe in human trafficking. Whether it's an adult human trafficker, whether it is a child being used as a drug mule or for sex trafficking, we simply don't believe in slavery in any form. Now, every year, Operation Underground Railroad, Operation Underground Railroad puts out a book called Not for Sale. And this is filled with stories of survivors and their artwork. And I'm going to read to you the story of one of those survivors whose name has been changed, by the way. All of the names in here have been changed for obvious reasons, okay? Now, full warning, I might get a little bit emotional when I read this. But we can't stand idly by, right? So we're calling her Jane. She was 14 years old at the time. She lived in the Pacific Northwest, think Seattle. This is in the United States, my dear friends, and unfortunately, child sex trafficking, we are the #1 consumers of child sex trafficking. It is horrible. So I'm going to read her little story here. It is unfathomable to imagine a mother voluntarily trafficking her young daughters to the men that she dates. Sadly, it is not an uncommon scenario even here in the United States. In one case, a woman saw her children as a commodity, so she allowed luxury gifts as payment in return for allowing men to sexually abuse and rape her 4 little children. The oldest daughter, Jane, loved her sisters so much that she stood up for them and submitted to the most abuse in order to protect them as much as she could. She suffered this lifestyle until her mother was caught and sent to jail. At the time, she was only 8 years old. 8 years old, and she had been raped multiple times, and probably for several years. So it probably started when she was 6, maybe 5. Are you outraged yet? You should be. The sisters were all adopted by one family, except for Jane, because the family didn't think that they could deal with her trauma, which is sad but fair, right? Jane went into foster care, which led to 3 failed adoptions. While she lived with the third family, she was raped by a neighborhood boy. Jane suffered so much in just the first few years of her life. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine yourself being in this situation, that you love your sisters or your siblings so much that you would volunteer to be raped to protect them, and then when you think you're out of the fire, that your abuse has ended, you get raped again? Finally, she was placed into better therapeutic foster care where she received healing, strength, and had the chance to learn what love was. This type of healing is a very long process. And by the way, I know that from personal experience. We won't go into it right now. One day, she cut her bangs extremely short. When asked why, Jane said, "I don't want to be pretty, because when I'm pretty, people hurt me." In time, during her therapy, she discovered a love for art and for horses. At age 14, an amazing family had a sincere desire to adopt her and invest their energy into her newfound talents. They found the beauty in watching her discover who she is and what she likes to do. They were the kind of family who wouldn't give up on helping and loving her. An old friend who had seen how fragile and broken Jane was at age 8 and had the chance to see Jane again, but this time as a happy teenager. "Guess what I do?" Jane said with her hands on her hip. Jane smiled big, tilted her head with a bright, beautiful confidence, and said, "I ride horses, and I'm really good at it. I have my own horse now, and I love it, and I am so happy." She was so proud of herself. After the most challenging early years of her life, Jane has risen above her circumstances thanks to a devoted family who wouldn't give up on her and who gave her the chance to experience real love. Heavenly Father does not give us challenges that we cannot overcome ourselves. And I will tell you something right now. Jane is a better person than I am. I don't know if I could handle that. She could. And it's amazing to see that she was able to work through the horrible abuse, the emotional scars. She was betrayed. It's the ultimate betrayal by her mother. And yet, she was able to find joy and happiness in life. My friends, happiness and joy in life is a choice, regardless of our circumstance. I'm going to take another drink of my hot chocolate here. Delicious. Speaking of joy, hot chocolate. I want to share with you a very interesting story. And this actually happened to me and my wife. Her father passed away suddenly of a heart attack. And the day of, literally, as soon as we got home from the hospital, her mother pulled the whole family into a circle and said, "Get on your knees." And she proceeded to pray and thank Heavenly Father for allowing them to have their dad for as long as they did. I was shocked. Of all of the responses in the whole wild world for her to have, that was not the one I was thinking that was going to come out. But she chose to be grateful for what she had and trusted in Heavenly Father. If you don't believe in the Christian God, then call it deity, whatever deity you choose to believe in. He answered her prayer and has taken care of her ever since. We are never given anything we can't handle, my friends. That is a great comfort as you face the challenges in your life. And I will share with you this. I recently, remember, I'm 46 years old. I recently found out something tremendously terrible about my childhood. Something that has made me very upset. But I was able to emotionally work through it because, again, I look at where I am today and I feel very grateful that regardless of what was going on and how much manipulation had been going on in my life, I am where I am today with the people who I have around me today, and I'm grateful for that. And those experiences formed who I am today, and I am in a good place today. I had a long way to go, and I had a lot of misery. But I was able to work through it. Okay, if you've just joined us, good morning and welcome. This is your channel for inspiration, motivation, contemplation, and success. We're going to review our 4 principles of success today, and then we will apply those principles momentarily. Just so we're all on the same page, I am a business owner. I am what most people I would assume would call successful. I don't think of myself in that way. I am more concerned about bringing happiness and joy into the lives of the people that I meet. That's my main concern. Everybody I meet, can I make their day better? That's all I'm worried about. Okay? I figure Heavenly Father will take care of the rest for me. Wherever I need to be, I'll be there. Okay? I was an absolute train wreck as a teenager. I had tried to commit suicide. I had almost gotten a girl pregnant. I was an absolute train wreck. And yet, somehow, I am sitting before you today as a person who has seen success, and I know the four principles for success. And so I share these with you because I view everybody in the world as my brother and my sister. You know, and I know there's a whole gender thing going on right now, but however you want to label yourself, that's up to you. But I just think of that we're all family of some way, right? And so if I can share with you these principles and it helps you, that's all I need. Any kind of donation that comes to this channel, any subscription that happens to this channel, goes straight to Operation Underground Railroad. I don't need the money. I would appreciate that we could raise funds for Operation Underground Railroad so we can free girls like Jane from sex trafficking, drug trafficking, things of that nature, human trafficking. But I don't keep the money. I don't need it. Okay. So our 4 principles. These are found, they are not in order on my page, but on the About Me section of my Twitch page, they are found there. And I'm going to tell them to you in order. And let's go through them fairly deeply here. So, number 1, the first principle of success is you need to know what in the world you want. That sounds simple, but my friends, it's not simple, right? Because whatever you want, you're going to have to sacrifice for it and work for it, and you're going to find challenges. So you better really understand what it is you want. What is your dream? Do you want a dream career? Do you want a mansion? Do you want an island? Right? What do you want? Because you can achieve anything you want, right? Don't limit yourself. But keep in mind that there will be sacrifices and a lot of work to get to what you want. Okay? Now, once you understand or have an idea of your dream, part of that first step then is to take time to research the steps that it's going to take to get there. Let's say I do want to own an island. Well, I know that's a lot of money, so I'm going to have to find a way to make a lot of money, right? And that brings us to step number 2. As we write down and figure out the steps it's going to take to achieve our dream, we're going to find the barriers in our way. There is no worthwhile goal in life that does not have a barrier, that does not have a challenge to it. So rule number 2 is you cannot allow fear to be a determining factor in anything that you do to pursue your dream. Now, fear is very useful in determining whether your goal is actually what you want in life. So if I'm listing out all the steps it's going to take to get my island, and I realize that it's not worth it to me, like owning an island's a wish, not a goal. It's not a there's a difference between a wish and a goal, right? I wish I had one, but I'm not willing to work for it, right? If I'm not willing to work for it or overcome hurdles, that's not my dream. So we need to find a new dream because that's not it. But we can't allow fear to deter us once we've set our goal firmly in our mind. Number 3, we must, capital must, be willing to sacrifice appropriately to achieve our goal. So I think my favorite example, this is going to be my favorite example forever, is Steve Harvey. You know, we watched his motivational speech last week, and he literally lived in a car and would go into fancy hotel bathrooms, public bathrooms, and wash his body once every other day in their toilet stalls because he was so poor he couldn't get a shower anywhere else. And his dream was to be a comedian, a big-time comedian. He did that for years. You have to be willing to make appropriate sacrifices. Okay? Now, maybe your dream won't require that much sacrifice that Steve Harvey had to make, but it might, and you have to be willing to make that sacrifice. Okay. And number 4, never give up. There is a difference between defeat and failure. Failure is final. There's no lesson learned from it. If you suffer a defeat but you learn something from it, that is a life lesson. That is valuable. Defeat is temporary in nature. It's a moment to reassess your method of working towards your goal and then changing it. It is not failure. Failure is when you stop trying and you walk away from your dream. Those are our 4 principles of success. They are very broad in nature. That is on purpose. But I promise you that if you follow those 4 rules, you can achieve literally anything you set your mind to. I know because I'm sitting here. And I would love for you to have the success that you want in your life, whatever that success is. Okay. Let's go ahead and apply now those 4 steps. We do. Did our music run out? It did. Sorry, guys. I'm going to turn off the music anyway. So we do a couple of things on this channel to demonstrate. Let's move this here. To demonstrate our 4 principles of success. And one of them is to learn Japanese. Now, I am fluent in Spanish. I understand a little bit of French, but I have no background whatsoever in Japanese. as you can see, we have been studying Japanese for quite a while. We're almost to the end of the second module. There's 6 of these. It has taken us over 3 months to get here. We've only spent about 10 minutes a day, and my friends, we have come a long way. And so we're doing this not because we want to speak Japanese, not because we're planning to go to Japan. This is just to illustrate that anybody can do anything they set their mind to if they're willing to follow the 4 principles that we have. So let's jump into our lesson for the day. This is a new module, so you're learning as I'm learning, okay? Maybe. Let's refresh that. Okay, there we go. Yay! All right. Okay, 5 things. So 5 is usually, is it yon?
5つ
But they have a completely different pronunciation for these numbers when it references items. Okay, so
6つ5つ
itsu, 5 things, items. 8 things. Okay, hachi is the number 8. How does this sound?
8つ
Yatsu, completely different.
5つ
Ichitsu, this is going to be 5 items, things. So in a sentence, the way this works is you have your noun, like chair. And then if you're going to count how many chairs you have, you do this, right? You put 5 and then
5つ
su, and it changes the pronunciation from its base to this,
5つ
which I'm learning. Ichitsu. Boy, it would be nice if they were consistent. Okay, 7 is nana, right? But let's find out what it is when you're counting something.
7つ
Oh, good. It is nanatsu. That's easy. Nanatsu. 9 things.
9つ
Kokonotsu. Interesting. Because koko is high school, right? So if you say, watashi wa koko takusei desu, you're saying I'm a high school student, right? But now, kokosu means 9 of something. Interesting.
テーブルが9つあります
All right, let's break down this sentence together. Teiburu means table. Ri is, or ga, is your separator. So now we're done with the noun. We're going into a number, which is kokotsu, which we know is 9. So there's 9 tables. And then arimasen. Arimasen means, or no, it's arimas. So arimas means there are. So there are 9 tables. There are 9 tables. That's it. Okay? 6 things. So 6 is normally roku, like the Roku stick. Let's see how it's pronounced.
6つ
Mutsu. Can we just do rokutsu? Please.
テーブルが7つあります
Okay. Teburu ga natsu arimasu. So there are 6 tables. There are. Oh, wait. I said 6. 6 is roku. Natsu is 7. 7 tables.
机が8つあります
All right.
机が8つあります
All right. See, this is going to be hard. Because now I have to take what I'm hearing and put the characters in. But we could do it. We can do it. We can figure it out. That is good hot chocolate.
机が8つあります。
Sukue. Where's sukue? This?
机
It is. And I think that's desk. Pretty sure.
机が8つあります。
Gai.
机が8つあります。
Yatsu. So what is yatsu? Yatsu is...
5つ、
That's ichitsu.
6つ、
Mutsu.
8つ、
Yatsu. 8. Okay. Arimasu.
あります。
So they're saying there are 8 desks. That's what that means. So this is desk, separator, 8 of the desk, there are. Arimasu. Okay.
机が5つあります。
Sukue gai
机が5つあります。
itsu arimasu. So there are 5 desks. There are 5 desks. Remember, I have no background in Japanese. This is just from using Duolingo, which, by the way, I 100% recommend. This is like a game. It doesn't even feel like you're studying. This is just fun.
椅子が5つあります。
Okay. Itsuzu gai
椅子が5つあります。椅子が5つあります。
itsu arimasu.
椅子が5つあります。
Isu gai itsu arimasu. I know this. That's chairs, right? There are 5 chairs. We did it.
6つ
Nutsu. So this is actually Roku, which is 4. No. 6. Sorry, 6. And there are no chairs. It's just 6 things, 6 items. We don't know what it's referencing, so it's just a 6 things.
テーブルが6つあります。
Okay, テーブルが6つあります。
テーブルが6つあります。
6つ。テーブルが6つあります。So there are 5. Right? Or 6. There are 6 tables. There are 6 tables. I'm telling you, you guys can do anything you set your mind to. Just follow our rules for
椅
success.
子が7つあります。椅子が7つあります。
Isu ga natsu arimasu. There are 7 chairs. There are 7 chairs. Hey,
椅子が8つあります。
isu gai
椅子が8つあります。
yatsu arimasu. Isu gai yatsu arimasu. There are 8 chairs. There we go.
9つ、
Kokonotsu, that's 9 things. Oh, we're going to make it harder. Okay. There are 6 tables. So now I have to take the English and put it into Japanese, right? So we know in Japanese, we reference the noun first, okay? The number second, and then the state last. Okay, so tables is teiboru. So teiboru
テーブル
ga,
が
that's our separator. Now we go into the number, which is going to be, is it mosu?
6つ、
Mutsu. Mutsu. Because that's natsu, that's 7, 5, 8, 9. Okay, that's right, that's 6. And then ari.
あり
Mas.
ます。
Arimas means there are. Okay, there are 9 tables. So same format, right? Tables, teiboru ga,
テーブルが
and then kokosu,
9つ
kokonotsu. Okay, kokonotsu. Arimasu. There
あります。
are. Guys, we did it. Okay? I'm not taking... Whew. And by the way, we have been doing this for 115 days in a row. Remember, one of our rules is never give up. So I'm really, really trying hard to keep this streak alive just to demonstrate the fourth principle of success for you, right? 115 days in a row, Saturdays, Sundays, it doesn't matter. We're doing it even if it's just for 5-10 minutes, okay? The idea is that we are putting these principles into practice and we are achieving something that is extraordinary, okay? We are in our league. We are back in a promotion zone here. I don't care if we make it to Sapphire or not. If I had more time, I'd care, but I don't. And so now we're going to switch format. We have time for just a little bit of fun. So we're going to do Legends of Runeterra. There are a new expansion pack has just released. We are platinum, and we have been platinum for the past 5 seasons, whatever, something like that. So, again, this is another application of our 4 principles. We have to set a goal. Ooh, there we go. We have to set a goal, and we have to follow our rules to get to where we want to be. Now, for me personally, I have no interest in going beyond platinum because Diamond, Master, Grandmaster, and Challenger just takes too much time, and I do run a business. I just don't have time for this, right? But if that's what I wanted to do in my life, then I would dedicate the time to do it. Simple as that. So let's have a little fun with one of these decks. You can see our platinum. Actually, we got a new platinum award, didn't we? Let's put that in there. Oh, let's change that. Can I change that again? Profile? Where's my profile? Profile? Yeah, there it is. Can I change that, please? Hello? And by the way, if you guys want to friend me and play this with me, I have no problem with that at all. I thought we could change this. No? Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, where's our new... There it is. There's our new platinum emblem. Let's put it in there. There we go. Okay, so let's just go have some fun in a normie. So we're going to use one of our new decks that we've put together here, Victor and Sedge. And these, by the way, this is going to be a crazy, crazy season. The new cards that they've put in are ridiculous. Let's put in our KDA World Tour. I do love KDA. I think it is so much fun. I love that they created that world. Let's do Popstar Stella for our mascot. Card back. Ari is my sweetheart. She asked me to date her, but I told her that I was married. I could not. It's very sad to have to tell her that. Number 1 fan, yes. We'll do a face slap instead of that, and then let's go Juicy when they do something good. Yeah, it's nice to cheer for other people too, you know. So let's do this. We'll play one game and then we'll call it good for the stream today. I will upload this video onto my YouTube channel. And I also have Twitter, although today I didn't read a quote, so there's nothing for me to push out today. Usually I read a quote from Napoleon Hill. I will push it out on my Twitter, twitter.com/Occam, AKH the number 4M. Alright, so our rule on this is pretty straightforward. 1, 2s, and 3s to start. That's how we start every time. Alright, let's drop down our
What do I do?
card.
What don't I do?
Now, he does have quick attack, which means that it really shouldn't matter what he puts down unless it's a Vile Feast. He can't get rid of me. Alright, so I win here. I go ahead and attack. He'll die and a spider will spawn, right? So we're already one move ahead. We already know what happens here. Okay? Now, don't have a 2 card yet. Let's draw. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy this guy right here. Okay. Alright. And then I have a choice. I'm probably going to let these guys hit because in round 3 I'm going to drop this guy in, and then this guy's going to move to a 2.
What can I say?
There we go. On his attack, which means I can now get rid of both of these guys and keep both of my cards. See how that works? In addition, I'm going to drop in my ballistic bot after my attack.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so now I'm way ahead of the game, right? And he's making a huge mistake, by the way. So I will let him hammer me again. The ballistic bot can create an ignition, and that will increase all of their attack power. So watch this. Use for demonstration purposes.
And if I go.
So it's going to hit the Nexus. Yeah, the opponent surrendered already. He's like, I'm out. All right. And that will do it for us today, guys. If you've made it this far with me, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. I hope that you have enjoyed our time together and you've gotten some kind of benefit from our time. Again, I will be posting this on my YouTube channel. It is going to be under Occam Razor. And until it's going to be Monday. I will see you again on Monday. And it may be an earlier stream because it's vacation time. So with that, you guys have a great day. Go pursue your dreams and choose to be happy.